Hey everyone, so in today's tutorial we will be creating the dashboard grid. So first we need to understand what a dashboard grid is. So I went to Mobin and searched for dashboards and I found some of the screens. You can try that. And so when we are creating software designs or this kind of screens, we need a side panel, a fixed panel. Sometimes it does collapse, but assuming that it is fixed, this area will be used for the remaining design, but this will stay on all kind of screens. So if we switch to inbox or reports, this is going to stay there and this area will be used for the design. So you can see I have placed some numbers here. So I measured the width, how much of the width they are using or they are keeping for the site navigation. For this one, they are using 366. For this one, they were using 332. And then this and this. It means we have like a bit of a range we can try for the site navigation. So what width you want to move forward with totally depends on what kind of design you're creating. So when I was exploring the widths and the different dashboard widths, so it varied from 200 to 400, like the numbers were between there. So we are going to analyze a few more details here. So here you can see that this area does not have design. So it is approximately 24 and it is on the both sides, here and here. So we are already familiar with columns and grids, but still the margins previously on a simple grid are supposed to be here, right on the end of the screen. But in this case, since the working area is this much, so our margins will be considered these places. So I'm going to put some boxes here. So these are our margins. Now something like there is one more thing that is new is this padding. So we can't have our designs to go all the way to the end. So they are using 20 approximately from both sides where they are not keeping their side navigation items, and there is more padding with the items. So this is all about how you want to design and keep the white space, but these are the two new things we will be using in our dashboard grid. So let's dive right in. So I'm gonna go grab a screen. So for this tutorial I'm choosing this screen. The size is 1440 10 this 24, sorry, 1024. So what I'm gonna do is select this and apply a layout grid. From here, from this drop down, I am going to choose column instead of other two options. So the column count I want is just 1. And then from this side we are going to use left. We want our side navigation panel to be on left, assuming we are designing for English websites. Okay, let's zoom out. Okay, so I want for this screen size, I want my like gutter width to be 24. It doesn't matter for one column, but it in Figma, if I don't add any value, it will just not increase the size. So for a size of the column, so what I'm going to do is add a width. So as I said that we can keep the side navigation width between 200 to 400. So for this screen size, the design I have in mind, I think 240 will be a good number. So YouTube uses 240, approximately 240. So you can, I think this will be a good place to start. So I added a 250, so we already have a good side navigation. I can close this. So I have been trying a few methods to add this create this navigation, side navigations, and double grids, in fact, dashboard grids. So but I'm just sharing the best, or I will say the easiest method, and which does not require a lot of maths and calculation. So Figma has an option where we can add more than one grids to one screen. So this is what we will be utilizing. So what I'm going to do is hit F on the screen, and I'm going to add a screen within the screen. So in Figma, we can also do this, add a screen within the screen. I'm going to change the color. So from here, you can see that this is my main screen, and this is the screen I just placed inside. I'm just going to make sure it snaps right where my side navigation ends. And yes, so it is giving me a working area of 1200. So I am going to apply a grid, another grid within it. So I'm gonna go column, choose column. I'm gonna go select the count number 12. I'm gonna go select center. So everything is good so far. I want for this screen size, you can read different design systems, and you will find some numbers or number ranges you can try. So for my design, the one I'm going to create requires the gutter of 24. So I place this here. So I'm gonna stop here and go zoom in here. So here where it gets tricky. So now we need two things: width of these columns and the margins. So for margins, I'm not sure what I'm gonna get. So what I'm gonna do is give myself a range. So the range is like, it should not be, the margins should not be below than 24. Okay, good start, sounds like a good start. And it should not be bigger than 32, because I don't want like a lot of space, like this much space or this much space as my margins for screens with like this. So I have given myself a minimum or maximum range of what my margins can look like. So what I'm gonna do is, you can place these on both sides, but I think we are good to go in one side. Okay, so I'm gonna hover over it and wait for this type of arrow, like this one, to face arrow, I assume, to appear. And now I'm gonna just increase. Just make sure you have added the count, you have added your gutter number, and now we are increasing the width. Zooming a bit more, and I'm just increasing, and I'm waiting right where it snaps, right between this box place and this box place. So this white area you can see. So okay, good thing happened. So it happened to snap right where my 24 box was. So if it didn't snap, like in the case if I reduce the width to 73, so it gives me approximately 24 and 6 30 width. So we can also go with this, but when we can have a perfect number, why not go there? So I'm gonna keep my margin to be 24. So now we know what is the number of what is the width of column we can have, which is 74. Okay, now we gonna go and select our main screen, grab a rectangle using R, and now I am going to place another rectangle and give it a dark color. So you see, this is where my side navigation ends, and this is the margin that is that is there before first column starts. So it is giving me a number of 264. Now we have to remember two numbers. You can write them down, but this 264 and this 74, and of course the gutter. So I should probably write this down. So side nav plus margin, this was, what was it, 264. I'm glad I started writing this down. Perfect. Now the second thing is my column width 74. And the gutter width was 24. Okay, so I'm gonna use these numbers. So on my main screen, not the inner one, on my main screen, I'm gonna apply another grid, turn this into column grid, apply the count to 12, select the left one, and now what I'm gonna do is use this option, offsets. So you see this side navigation plus margin gave us 264. So if we add this number, 264, got. Our column starts right where we want them to start. Then we are gonna go ahead and add our column width. Perfect. And now we are gonna go ahead and add our gutter width. Look how it snaps right where we need it. Now, a bit more detail is I'm gonna select this and I'm gonna duplicate this by doing Control D. I'm gonna go in detail, and now what I'm gonna do is reduce. So I have to decide what padding I want for the items I'm going to place in my side navigation. So they are, let's say for this width, 16 on both sides, like 16 and 16, or you can just minus 32. Looks fine. So I'm gonna minus the width, write this. So we get 208. Now since we deducted 16 and 16 for this side and 16 for this side, so our offset is gonna move 16 points. So we have a good place. So when we are placing the items in side navigation, it is going to be a good place, it is going to give us a good base where we can place our items. So yeah, that is it. Now we can go ahead, hit this add, create style, give it a name, dashboard grid for 1440, and what was the size? 1024. Good. Okay, so this was what we were doing for this. Let's quickly revise this for another screen size, so you know that it works for any screen. So I placed a wider screen and the size is 1920 multiplied by, what is the number, 10080. This is, I'm picking up the width and height from here. Okay, so I will be using total different numbers. So what we're gonna do is add grid, of course, go to the column, count 1. Now I'm gonna choose different gutters. Since the screen is wider, so a bit more wider than 24, so I'm gonna go with 32. Okay, so left side, and now I want my width to be 336. I picked up this number from the inspiration I showed you in the start. So 336 sounds like a good place to start, and of course it is multiplied by 8, I think it is. So okay, so we have the side navigation. Okay, now I'm gonna go add a frame, change the color. First add the color. Okay, this is also a good way to add the color. Now the area of work, we just make sure that it snaps where it needs to snap. Okay, now I'm gonna go add layout grid, add 12 columns. It should be center. Okay, now I want the gutters to be 32. Okay, so far so good. Now again, I have to make sure I have a limit for my margin. So for this one, since it is a big screen and I want more space, so I'm going to increase the range of the width of margins. So instead of going 24 and 32, I'm going to go ahead and choose 32 and 40 as a number. Okay, so again, just to be clear. So I want my gutters to be between this place. So this rectangle is where I want, this rectangle 8 points is where I want my the column line to snap hit in, so my margins stay right between 32 and 40. So I'm gonna keep this rectangle just in case. Okay, so we are going to just zoom out to show what is happening. Go here, increase the width, zoom out, zoom in a bit, increase column width. Okay, wow, again we found a number. Okay, it is not necessary that it happens all the time, but but if it doesn't, just to show you. So if it is more than this, so we can like this number. So all I want is this line to snap between this place where this black box is. So 97 seems to work fine, and it will be approximately 26, like this. Sorry, 32 was this box, so 34 will be the margins. But if I reduce one number, so I will get perfect 40 width on the side for the margins. So again, I'm gonna go with 96. Sound perfect because it is multiple of 8, and even the margins are multiple of 8. Sounds like the best thing to do. Again, I'm gonna place a rectangle which is starting from here and is like, this is to measure the side navigation plus the margin we added. So this is 337. We should probably write this down. Okay, this is the number we need for the offset, and column width was 96. Okay, 96, and gutters we kept were 32. Okay, main screen. Again, back to the main screen, not the inner one. We are adding a grid, 12 columns. Perfect. Snap to the right, and the width we need is 96. Offset, this is offset 376. Perfect. And now we need to increase the gutter width. It's, look how it snaps. Like, this is the proof that we have done right, is like all the things right, when the main screen grid snaps right on the this one. Okay, we can delete this. I'm just gonna hide it for now. Now what we are gonna do is add another grid. Instead, if you can copy it, just we need to duplicate this one. So column grid on the right, 336, 32 gutter. Now from the width, now for this one, I want my side navigation to have a good number of white space left. So I'm gonna reduce 24 for the right and 24 for the left. So okay, I didn't change the count. It's supposed to be 1. Perfect. 288. And the offset, since I reduced 48 points, like 24 for both sides, so I'm going to move the offset. Offset is moving the column from that certain location. So if it is from left, we will be moving the offset from the left side. Okay, 24. So this is the padding. Okay, we can add this dashboard grid, and what is this screen size? 1080, and perfect. So we are good to go. You can try this on different screens and share what is your experience like. See you guys in some future video.